and welcome to Mouse in the Mitten Trivia Pod, a podcast where you can test your Disney trivia knowledge over a variety of topics. My name's Court and I will be your host. Our game will consist of 5 rounds of 6 questions covering everything from your basic Disney knowledge to some unknown facts. Each question is worth 1 point unless otherwise noted. Make sure you follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok at Mouse in the Mitten, and make sure if you're watching us over on YouTube, you hit subscribe, give us a thumbs up, and turn on that bell for notifications. As you might have noticed last week, I was gone. I was on vacation. I'll give you 2 guesses as to where I was, and if one of those is Disney World, you hit the nail on the head. It was a great time. It was really hot, but it was a great time, a lot of fun, a lot of great things that I look forward to bringing to you in the future. And if you're someone who you want to go to Disney World or even Disneyland, Disney Cruise, something like that, I would love to be able to help you out. All you got to do, email me at mouseinthemitten@gmail.com. We can get you all squared away. Well, while I was in Disney World, an event was wrapping up called D23. Now, yes, we were kind of seeing some of the things as they were happening. Me personally, I don't foresee ever going to D23. There's a lot going on, and those sort of crowds, like, I can plan everything at Disney World. There, it doesn't seem like it'd be my sort of thing. So I usually wait till like the day after to kind of digest everything. But we're going to start out round 1 talking about some of the movies that were introduced and talked about at D23. We're not going to talk too much about the park stuff. The park stuff is always kind of, will it happen? Won't it happen? Da-da-da-da. The movies seem to be more likely to happen. So we're going to talk about the D23 movies that were announced and some of the fun ones that are coming up. So let's get started with question number 1. What Disney animated movie is about a family getting a dog is getting a live action remake that will be released next summer? Question number 2. Name the superhero movie that is getting its 3rd installment from Pixar. Question number 3. Finally arriving in theaters in the summer of 2025, what Pixar movie is about a boy who is abducted by aliens? Question number 4. What is the name of the new Fantastic Four movie that was announced at D23? Question number 5. James Cameron is set to direct what 3rd movie in a series that he created? And question number 6. Dwayne Johnson is also involved in a new Disney movie titled what? Hint, it's also the name of a very popular driving event. All right, I'm going to give you a few seconds worth of music, try to come up with those answers, and then I will return. All right, let's get some answers and let's talk about some of these upcoming movies from Disney. So question number 1. What Disney animated movie is about a family getting a dog is getting a live action remake that will be released next summer? Well, that is Lilo and Stitch. Now, we've known about this one for a little bit, kind of have heard bits and pieces about it, but to actually see that, hey, in the summer of next year it is coming out is a good thing. I'm looking forward to seeing it. The Stitch that kind of busts through the screen does look very realistic, so I'm going to be intrigued to see how he looks throughout the movie. Question number 2. Name the superhero movie that is getting its 3rd installment from Pixar. That one is The Incredibles. We don't have to wait 17 years for the next one to come out in this series. We were watching The Incredibles this weekend in anticipation of the 3rd one coming out, and we got excited. And I asked my wife, like, Incredibles 2 is just basically a continuation of the first Incredibles. What do we think 3 will be like? And I don't know if they're going to advance the story a couple of years to kind of continue to grow Jack's powers and utilize the other powers of the Parr family. I'm going to be intrigued to see what they do with that. Question number 3. Finally arriving in theaters in the summer of 2025, what Pixar movie is about a boy who is abducted by aliens? That would be Elio. I feel like we saw the teaser trailer for this like 3 years ago. So the fact that we finally have a date that it's coming out, again, it's Pixar, so we know the animation is going to be beautiful. My question is, what is it going to be like? Is the story going to be good, or is it going to be, we had 3 years to rewrite it, it's kind of been sitting there, we didn't really touch it a whole lot. I'm going to be curious to see what that one looks like. Question number 4. What is the name of the new Fantastic Four movie that was announced at D23? Well, that would be Fantastic Four First Steps. So if you had just said First Steps, give yourself the point there. I myself am not a huge Fantastic Four fan. I am more of a Marvel person, but now that Disney has DC, I'm hoping that they can do something fun with it and kind of bring me back in. This might be the movie that does it. Question number 5. James Cameron is set to direct what third movie in a series that he created? Well, that is Avatar 3, Fire and Ash. Now, if you had just said Avatar 3, give yourselves a point. If you didn't get the subtitle, that is more than okay. Again, one third movie, a third installment that we're not going to have to wait a super long time for like we did between the first and the second one. It should be successful. They got James Cameron back on board, so I have a feeling this one's going to be successful, and it should be a good one as well. Last but not least, question number 6. Dwayne Johnson is also involved in a new Disney movie titled What? Hint, it's also the name of a very popular driving event. Well, that would be Monster Jam. And I saw that, I initially saw the report and it said it was a movie called Monster Jam. I'm like, there's no way they're doing a series about monster trucks. Yeah, they're doing a movie on monster trucks. So I'll be intrigued to see what they do with that and see how it's going to be interacted. But I mean, they have Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson behind it, so you know it's going to be good. So again, I like to talk about the movies from D23 because those seem more imminent, like they're actually going to happen, as opposed to some of the theme park stuff. So if the theme park stuff happens, awesome, but these movies look great as well. Continuing on now into round number 2. Round number 2 is our Fast Facts round. This round is filled with simple questions that have simple answers. Today's category is the dogs of Disney. While walking around Magic Kingdom and going through some of the rides, you can see there's quite a few dogs that are incorporated in the rides at Disney. And there's quite a few dogs involved in the movies in Disney as well. So what's going to happen is all 6 of these dogs are either in a movie or an attraction. You just have to let me know, where can you find those dogs? So let's get started with question number 1. Caretaker's dog. Question number 2. Rover. Question number 3. Doug. Question number 4. Peg. Question number 5. Percy. And question number 6. Poochie. Now, did I intend to end those 3 with names that start with the letter P? No, but here we are. So let's get some answers and find out where these dogs are from. So question number 1. Caretaker's dog, that is from the Haunted Mansion. As you start to kind of get your Doom buggy to turn back around, you can see the caretaker with his dog as you enter the graveyard. It's a little bit of a scared dog. He's nervous. He can see all the ghosts. So yeah, I can see why he's nervous. Question number 2. Rover, that is the Carousel of Progress. Every time that we go into a new scene, we can see Rover laying on the ground there. He's super excited to be there, and he's also super adorable. And yes, he does look like the dog on Living with the Land as well. Question number 3. Doug, that is from Up. Now, we saw Kevin this weekend at Animal Kingdom. He is just really, really cool. Unfortunately, as we were getting off one of the rides, it was downpouring, so he was the only roaming character that we saw. We did meet Mickey and Minnie there as well, but Kevin was the only roaming character. We didn't get to see Doug or any of the other roaming characters. Question number 4. Peg. Well, she is from Lady and the Tramp. She is the one who has her own song in there talking about how Tramp is really a tramp, and does a great job performing it as well. Question number 5. Percy, well, he is from Pocahontas. He is not John Smith, he's the bad guy from Pocahontas. His name's I'm drawing a blank right now, but he's the bad guy's dog from Pocahontas, ends up becoming friends with Miko, and ends up staying with Pocahontas, which is really, really cool. And I guess in the long term does become John Smith's dog. Last but not least, question number 6. Poochie, he is from the Pirates of the Caribbean. He is not only on the ride, he is also in the movie. So if you named a specific Pirates of the Caribbean, give yourself a bonus point there. But he is the dog that has the key in his mouth that all the inmates are trying to whistle at because, you know, the city is burning. And you hear the whistle, the whole like whistle trying to get the dog to come over to him to let him free because, you know, the city's burning. They want to get out. So that makes sense as well. But again, a lot of dogs throughout Disney. There's a lot of cats too. So maybe in the future we'll do cats. But as Milo can tell you, we're dog people here and we will forever love them. Continuing on now into round number 3. Round number 3 is our connecting the circles round. For this round, I will ask you 5 questions that may or may not be Disney related, but the answers do relate somehow through Disney. And that's going to be your 6th question is what is that connection? So let's get started with question number 1. What actress is known for her roles in Halloween, True Lies, and Knives Out, but also Freaky Friday and the latest Haunted Mansion? Question number 2. Who is known for being Hannah Montana? Question number 3. Who is the director known for Avatar, Titanic, and The Terminator? Question number 4. Who is known for their roles in 911? What's Love Got to Do with It? Both Black Panther films, and was the narration voice for Enchantment? Question number 5. What Imagineer is known for the creation and design of Animal Kingdom, Alani, and Guardians of the Galaxy Mission Breakout? And question number 6 there is what is the connection? So what is the connection between those answers? I'm going to give you a few seconds worth of music, see if you can connect those circles, and then I will return. Let's see if we can connect those circles. So question number 1. What actress is known for her roles in Halloween, True Lies, and Knives Out, but also Freaky Friday and the latest Haunted Mansion? Well, that is Jamie Lee Curtis. Now, one of the movies that we didn't talk about earlier was Freakier Friday, which is a sequel to Freaky Friday. It's been a few years, so I don't know what's going to happen there, but definitely Jamie Lee Curtis has done a ton of movies and is fantastic in all of them. Question number 2. Who is known for being Hannah Montana? Well, that is Miley Cyrus. I could have gone a lot of ways with this one. Could have talked about Billy Ray Cyrus and how he's in the Kentucky Music Hall of Fame, and could have talked about a lot of different avenues that she has come from, but I just figured stick to the simple one there. Question number 3. Who's the director known for Avatar, Titanic, and The Terminator? Well, that is James Cameron. Obviously, talked about him a little bit earlier, talked about how they're coming out with Fire and Ash later, but definitely, again, a great actor or great director, has been in the game for a long time. I mean, we're talking about Terminator. Yes, that is the one with Arnold Schwarzenegger, and he's been doing this a long time and is very talented. Question number 4. Who is known for their roles in 911? What's Love Got to Do with It? Both Black Panther films, and was the narration voice for Enchantment? Well, that is Angela Bassett. She has been around for a long time. Again, another phenomenal actress. Just one of those people that just keeps putting out movie after movie after movie, and now a TV show, and is just fantastic in everything that she does. And question number 5. What Imagineer is known for creating and designing of Animal Kingdom, Alani, and Guardians of the Galaxy Mission Breakout? Well, that is Joe Rohde. He does a fantastic job. A very unique individual. Definitely why he made such a great Imagineer. Just the way that he sees things, the way that he thinks, the way that he can visualize things makes him the perfect Imagineer, and definitely we could see his hands on so many things around Disney ever since he was part of it. So question number 6 there is what is the connection? Well, we had answers such as Jamie Lee Curtis, Miley Cyrus, James Cameron, Angela Bassett, Joe Rohde? Well, the connection there, those were all individuals honored at D23 as Disney legends. Now, this is just 5 of them. They ended up inducting 14 Disney legends. John Williams was another one in there. I wanted to try to incorporate him, but at the same point, I didn't want to do all movie and TV. I wanted to include at least one Imagineer, but a huge ceremony, a lot of really big names inducted, and definitely the capstone of D23, and a great event to honor the success and honor the legacies that these individuals and others have left at Disney during their time. Continuing on now into round number 4. Round number 4 is typically reserved for our movie anniversaries, and this week is no different. This week's movie anniversary is Bambi, a classic that scarred every single one of us that saw it when we were younger, but definitely a classic movie and definitely a great message as well. So let's get started here with question number 1. Bambi was released on August 21st, 1942. What number movie is Bambi from Disney Animation? Question number 2. What European city was the host of the Bambi premiere on August 9th, 1942? Question number 3. Who is Bambi's good friend who teaches Bambi to talk? Question number 4. As skilled as the animators are, there was one thing they could not get right. As a result, Disney had to make a plaster cast of what object and then film that object at all angles before adding the images to the required cells. Question number 5. While producing this movie, what was the phrase used to identify that Walt was coming down the hall? And question number 6. What U.S. state is Bambi based in? As you can hear, Milo has a favorite character from this movie. He was demonstrating it during this recording. Hopefully you were able to hear that. But I'm going to give you a few seconds worth of music, try to come up with those answers, and then I will return. Let's get some answers here on Bambi. So question number 1. Bambi was released on August 21st, 1942. What number movie is Bambi for Disney Animation? Well, that is the 6th movie in Disney's animated history. So obviously Snow White was first. This one was the 6th installment of Disney Animation. Question number 2. What European city was the host of the Bambi premiere on August 9th, 1942? Well, that would be in London. Now, they chose London, and you could definitely tell this is kind of right at the beginning of World War II-ish, but chose London to have the premiere there, and then eventually released to the rest of the U.S. a couple weeks later. Question number 3. Who is Bambi's good friend who teaches Bambi to talk? Obviously, if you heard Milo, you know this answer. It is Thumper. Now, Thumper does have some of the most unique lines, a little bit of the comedy, definitely a lot of fun in there as well, and also helps Bambi get introduced to Flower as well. Question number 4. As skilled as the animators are, there was one thing they could not get right. As a result, Disney had to make a plaster cast of what object and then film that object at all angles before adding the images to the required cells. That would be Bambi's father's antlers, and I think subsequently Bambi's antlers as well. They just, for some reason, they couldn't get it right. They couldn't get the angles right. They couldn't get how the antlers would look in certain views and certain lights, because when Bambi first meets his father, he's looking up at him, everything else like that. They just couldn't quite get it right. So they made a plaster casting of these antlers and then filmed it from all the different angles and then put those cells into the movie where it was required. Question number 5. While producing this movie, what was the phrase used to identify that Walt was walking down the hall? Well, that is the man in the forest. Now, if you know the movie, if you've seen the movie, you know that they call the man the hunters in this movie. So they kind of did the same thing whenever Walt was going down the hall. They would say the man is in the woods or the man is in the forest to kind of alert everyone like, hey, he's coming, be prepared. He might be coming to your office next. So kind of a cool little homage to him as well. Last but not least, question number 6. What U.S. state is Bambi based in? Well, the movie is based in Maine. While some of the deer were based on mule deer, which are mainly found out west, they did decide to go with a white-tailed deer, and those are found in Maine. So a cool little story. Again, this is a great story. It's an oldie, but a goodie, and definitely one that now that we're adults, we can understand it a little bit more as well. Wrapping up today's game, round number 5 is going to be titled Fun with Friends. So what does this mean? Well, for this round, we're going to talk all about Disney dining and specifically character dining. One of the ways in which you can easily add some magic to your Disney vacation is to do a character dining experience. The characters roam, you get to actually interact with the characters, and it's a lot of fun. It's a chance to be able to get some autographs, get some pictures. A great time, and again, a great way to add a little bit of magic. So how this round's going to work is I'm going to name the characters that are available at a Disney dining experience. You just have to tell me, where can you find those characters? So let's get started with question number 1. Winnie the Pooh, Eeyore, Tigger, and Piglet. Question number 2. Chip and Dale, Mickey and Pluto. Question number 3. Lilo and Stitch, Mickey and Pluto. Question number 4. Minnie, Goofy, Donald, and Daisy. Question number 5. Mickey, Goofy, Donald, and Daisy. And question number 6. Aladdin, Cinderella, Tiana, and Mirabelle. All right, I'm going to give you a few seconds worth of music, try to come up with those answers, and then I will return to wrap up today's game. All right, let's wrap up today's game and talk a little bit about Disney dining. So question number 1. Winnie the Pooh, Eeyore, Tigger, and Piglet, where do we find them? We find them at Crystal Palace. Now, if those characters and Winnie the Pooh wasn't enough to get you into Crystal Palace, the Churro Mickey waffles certainly will. Those are fantastic. It's kind of become a tradition that every time my wife and I go to Disney World, we go to Crystal Palace and at least have breakfast with Winnie the Pooh and the gang. It's a lot of fun, and you get to meet all of them, and they are just always awesome to interact with as well. Question number 2. Chip and Dale, Mickey and Pluto, well, they can be found at Garden Grill, which is in Epcot. It is in where you can go in to ride Soarin' and live with the land. It's on the main level that you come in at. We had to be careful with this one. The humidity and the heat was really, really high when we were there last week. And my daughter gets very excited when she sees Mickey or Minnie. And we saw Mickey as he was greeting guests at Garden Grill. And we're like, hey, get downstairs now. And luckily we were able to get away with it. Question number 3. Lilo and Stitch, Mickey and Pluto, well, they can be found at Ohana, but only for breakfast. You can only find those 4 at breakfast. If you go there for lunch or dinner, you won't be able to see those characters there, but if you go there for breakfast, you'll be able to see all 4 of them. Question number 4. Minnie, Goofy, Donald, and Daisy, that is Cape May Cafe, which is also only at breakfast. Now, I was very intrigued. We went there for breakfast this time, and we stayed at Pop Century. Pop Century has a giant statue of Goofy. From day one, my daughter, every time she saw him, Goofy, she loved him. We go to breakfast at Cape May. Goofy was there, and she was like scared of him. It was very weird, but she's also at that age where from a distance, they look fantastic. That's awesome. But once they get close, a little scared. It comes with that age. We get it. Question number 5. Mickey, Goofy, Donald, and Daisy? Well, that is Tusker House. That is over in Animal Kingdom. Now notice, a little bit different. There is no one dining experience that is the exact same as another. You might have some princesses that cross over between Akershus and Cinderella's Royal Table, but the combination of characters are going to be different everywhere you go. So this time, instead of Minnie, Goofy, Donald, and Daisy, you have Mickey, Daisy, Donald, and Goofy, and a little bit different attire as well. Still some fantastic food. Last but not least, question number 6. Aladdin, Cinderella, Tiana, and Mirabelle? Well, that is 1900 Park Fair. Now, obviously, on this list, this is the one that has opened up the most recent. Little bit of a hodgepodge of characters, but definitely 4 really beloved characters, 2 more recent as well. So it's really cool and a really good experience as well. But again, character dining, a great way to add a touch of magic to your Disney experience. If you have any questions, do not hesitate to reach out to me. Would love to have you, get you all squared away and get you all taken care of. Well, I want to thank you for tuning in this week. I will return next Thursday with more questions and more fun. Make sure you're following us on Apple Podcasts. If you're not listening to us on Apple, hopefully you're watching us over on YouTube. If you are, make sure you subscribe, give us a thumbs up, turn on that bell for notifications, and in the comments down below, let us know what your score is. And if you're listening to us, leave us a 5-star review and let us know what your score was in those reviews. And if you want to follow us on social media, you can find us on Facebook, on Instagram, and on TikTok at Mouse in the Mitten. There's going to be a lot of really cool stuff coming out on all those platforms here really, really soon. And again, planning a Disney vacation, there's a lot that goes into it. We talked about a small portion of it today with Disney dining and some of the character options. If you need a little bit of help planning that, feel free to reach out to me at mouseinthemitten@gmail.com. Get you all taken care of and all squared away. Hey, my name's Court. The dog's name is Milo. I appreciate you tuning in, and I will see you next time.